Physical media has been around for a while. Books, vinyls, CDs, etc. But today I want to talk to you about the newer age of physical media when it comes to movies, DVDs, and Blu-rays. And if you didn't know, I own a lot of movies. Also DVDs, VHS tapes, and Blu-rays and 4Ks. I love physical media, and I deeply think there are many reasons for the creation, support, and love for physical media. And so without much further ado, let's jump into some key reasons for the importance of physical media. I love physical media. I always have, and I probably always will. The difference between someone in my family or me putting in the disc and the magic that putting in the disc into a DVD player is so important to me, and a feeling that I'll never forget. So for personal reasons, I'll always love putting a disc into a DVD player, like your own little portal into the world of the movie. But here's the first reason that I think really proves that physical media is incredibly important. In this day and age, I'm sure you've heard more and more about companies editing things out of movies and streamers doing the same thing. They do this kind of thing sometimes in television shows that go on for a while on streaming services, just so they can retcon things to make it fit with where they're trying to go in the future, instead of just kind of writing an intelligent way to retcon something or bringing everything up to the same spot, basically. They will literally just edit things out of the original episodes to match what they want to do in the new show. So fundamentally, if you think something is true about your favorite show on a streamer, especially if it's an original show, almost entirely if it's an original show, on a streamer like Netflix or something like that, be careful because they may have completely changed everything you know about those shows. This is really the biggest example of this. Because I don't know if you know, but they actually have edited a lot out of at least the original few seasons of this show, the first and second. And what I think is really fascinating is I own the version of this before they edited anything out. So I own the original versions of these episodes in the ways that no one does unless you own this. If you can't, it's not the same on Netflix as it is here, which is really cool. And I think it's really important that you have this because this is how the show got popular, was this version of it, not the version that's on Netflix right now. In some cases, they'll also edit things out that don't fit with the modern audience. I'm more of a fan personally of warning about when the movie was made and what kind of things happen in the movie that you're kind of warning someone about. But that's mostly because I think in some cases, in a lot of cases, the removal of certain things can be completely detrimental to a film or a show, even if it doesn't fit for a modern audience. My first thought is the French Connection. Doyle uses a slur that is not okay for him to use. It's never been okay for him to use that slur, but that's the point. He is a racist cop in the 1970s. He's going to say things and do things that no one else agrees with because he's a bad cop in the 1970s. Showing him being racist in that way is part of what makes his character the way he is, because he's a racist, terrible person. You're watching him do bad things pretty much throughout the entirety of that movie. I mean, the whole car chase scene is him doing very bad things, and kind of sets an example for how his character acts. But if you get rid of that, you kind of don't have that same, the character development, you don't see it happen. It's just all of a sudden he's a really crazy bad person, and it kind of just happens that way. Another example of this is different but kind of close, especially it's why it's really important to own your physical media if you can. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where the whole point of the scene was how bloody it was and how bad it was and kind of how tarnished everything got, especially the whole Captain America brand. So originally it was very bloody, very gory, because that was the point of that scene. But then after it came out and a few months later, they actually cut down a lot of that to make it more presentable to overseas rating boards and things like that, which is not okay. I mean, that's the way you intended it, and you don't cut it out for other boards. You don't just censor everything like that. I think the version now you see is the original version, but that's what they did do that for a period of time. It was a different version of those episodes. These are some of the crucial reasons why physical media is so important, especially owning the things that you want to own and see forever. If a movie is only available on streaming or a television show and nowhere else, anyone at any time can make any changes to that movie without anyone noticing. And even if anyone did notice, there's really you can do about it. The next reason I think is so important about owning physical media is the fact that streaming services just rotate things out like on a daily basis. If you own physical media, you actually can always know and appreciate whatever physical media movies and television shows you have, and even watch them 1,000 times over and over and over again if you wanted to for months on end without ever being worried something was going to happen to the movie. Like one day you were going to walk into the room, open up the case, and see, we took this disc until 3 months from now. Here's 4 movies you've never seen before, but also no one has ever seen before, and they're not really very good movies at all, but you have more now, which is all you care about, right? I think just owning the movies you have and being able to watch them whenever you want is kind of an underrated part of physical media now. A lot of people talk about like censorship and censoring things post the film, right? Like making changes to it, but also it's hard to find where you want to watch something. Like if you want to watch Titanic, you can only have to rent it, because we tried to watch Titanic the other day. You have to rent it from anywhere. You have to own it if you want to watch it, or you don't want to pay $5 to rent it somewhere. I can pick any of these movies at any point and watch them forever. They're mine forever. Not just getting to own your favorite movies, but also actually getting to be able to see them whenever you want is becoming very important. Especially with the instance of some like online retailers that kind of like are a movie database, I just don't want to say names, are, you know, where you can buy movies or stream or add codes into them or whatever, and then you stream from those websites. They are literally just removing movies from people's accounts without telling people, and you really can't do anything about it. It's because you are buying a license to the content, not actually buying the content. When I pay $20 for this movie or this movie, I'm actually owning this movie forever. But like online, if Amazon or like, you know, Paramount doesn't want their movies on XYZ streaming service, like movie database service, all those movies are gone. You may have paid $400 for those movies, but they can just pull the plug on you whenever. Ain't nobody pulling the plug on this. I have this forever. Owning your discs, owning your favorite movies is very, very vitally important. And I think with the age of everything becoming digitalized, owning and touching the movies and knowing they exist is really, really important nowadays, because it's escaping us very slowly, and maybe we can save it. Thank you all for watching. I really, really appreciate it. You can follow us on Instagram at MediaByte Company, and TikTok is at MediaByte Co. Patreon for ad-free podcasts. Listen to the MediaByte Podcast Network. It's /hit Diary of an Indie Filmmaker and Exploring Cinema. I'm working on some projects for some longer videos, which I think will be kind of interesting, but we'll see how long those are when they get out, and I'll kind of update you a little bit about that as we move on. So thank you all for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. It means everything to me, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.